All right, Bucks. They get it done here in Game 5. They take a 3-2 lead, and they're now one game away from making it to the NBA Finals. I got to congratulate these guys for getting the job done. You know, this was a game where both Giannis and Trae Young did not play, so both these two squads needed to step up, and they both played well. It's just that the Bucks came with the intensity and the energy. For the Hawks, their main guys showed up. You got 28 from Bogdanovich. You had 19 from both Collins and Gallinari, and then Lou Williams pitched in with 17. They had great games. The Hawks played well today, relatively down the stretch, but they didn't start off well. You know, the first quarter, they were getting absolutely destroyed, and we're going to talk about that. But they took the punches, the best punches from the Bucks, and they kept fighting, and they kept it relatively close. So good on them. Those guys played well today. It's just that the Bucks overwhelmed them today. And it was really four guys that stepped up and did what they needed to do for the Bucks. First of all, Bobby Portis. 22 points. That is a career playoff high for him. 22 points. He had more energy and played with the higher intensity than the entire Hawks team played in the first half. I mean, this guy was just coming off the bench. He was the heart and soul. He was the energy for the Bucks tonight. He was making play after play. He was coming in and doing what he needed to do. So credit to Portis because he had an amazing game. Secondly, Chris Middleton. He is the best player on the team now that Giannis is not playing, so he had to step up and have a good game. He scored 26 points tonight. They were needed. He came up. He was efficient. He did what he needed to do. Good on him. I expect Middleton to show up in these type of situations. He definitely did bounce back, but again, I need him to be more consistent. Drew Holiday, 25 points. This was a great game from him. You had to have him show up. Like I said, with Giannis down, you need both Middleton and Drew Holiday to show up. Drew Holiday showed up today. Again, he didn't shoot relatively well from three, and he keeps taking those shots. But you know what? He played well overall, and pretty much the entire Bucks team played well overall. So good on Drew Holiday. He showed up. He needed to show up in this game and help this team, and he showed up. But no question, the player of the game for the Bucks was Brook Lopez with 33 points. 33. This guy was taking over the game. And the fact that he scored 33 points in the game showed exactly why the Milwaukee Bucks are such a frustrating team to watch. Because they don't like to play smart basketball. Here you have a team that has the size advantage. They clearly have the size advantage. Brook Lopez is 7 feet. You have the size advantage. No one on the Hawks can hold you guys. When he's on the court, Giannis can get to the basket whenever he wants. Middleton can get to the basket whenever he wants. Drew Holiday can get to the basket when he wants. Brook Lopez is there. You can utilize him and bully these guys in the paint. Yet for some reason, y'all want to play him outside and let him take threes. Well, they didn't do that tonight. Tonight, they thought. They really thought. They played smart basketball, and they actually played to their strengths and to their advantages. Now, as I brought up earlier, the Hawks did not start off well, and a big part of that just had to deal with the defense that the Bucks came out and played with, as well as the intensity, but mostly the way they chose to attack the basket. They came out and attacked the basket. They utilized Brook Lopez in the paint, and this guy continued to deliver. I think he didn't miss like a single shot in the first quarter. I think he was like, 5 for 5, 6 for 6. He was the main catalyst offensively for these guys in the first quarter. And that's what helped them get like a 20-point lead. They went out and just took a 20-point lead in the first quarter, and they just continued to play well, and they kept that lead for the rest of the game. This is how the Bucks need to play. I don't know how many times we have to tell you this, but you have the size advantage. You have the size advantage. They cannot stop you from getting to the paint. Attack the basket. Attack the basket. How hard is that for you guys to understand? Why do you love taking these threes? You're not a great three-point shooting team. Now, they still took a lot of threes today, but they didn't forget to attack the basket, and ultimately, that's what helped them win this game. But again, you just have this size advantage. Nobody on the Hawks can hold you guys. Attack the basket. Attack. Drive. Stop trying to take all these threes. Stop looking to just jack up threes for no reason. That's not your game. You're not a great three-point shooting team. But you can bully these dudes in the paint, so do that. And that's exactly what they did tonight. Man, Brook Lopez was hitting everything. Man was getting and ones. He was hitting layups. He was man. He was dunking on people. He had like 5 dunks in this game. He was hitting blocks. Clearly the player of the game. They utilized him the right way. Now, again, we don't know if Giannis is coming back for a game 6 and they're going on the road to Atlanta. It's going to be a tough game there, but they need to get this win. And if they can get the win, they're heading to the NBA Finals. So I'm sure the Hawks are definitely going to make some adjustments, but again, how much adjustments can they make to stop these guys from driving to the paint? Because they have the size advantage. And again, if they play smart basketball and play to their strengths and play to the clear size advantage they have, they should be able to win game 6. Tonight clearly showed you guys, if you drive to the basket, they're not going to stop you. They can't stop you. You have too much of an advantage. So that's what you need to continue to do. That's what they need to carry to game 6. Now, of course, with this game, a big part of them being able to perform the way they played was that they took this game a lot more seriously than they did game 4. They admitted in game 4, they came out, they saw that Trae Young was not there, and they thought they can handle this. They're like, man, Trae Young's not there. We could take this team down. It's going to be an easy dub. Yeah, that wasn't the case. And because of that, they were settling for shots. They didn't come out with a lot of energy. And that cost them game 4. Didn't cost them tonight because they understood that they lost Giannis and they don't know when he's going to come back. So, and this Hawks team can clearly play without Trae Young. They got to win against you guys because they were locked in and focused and understood the moment. So you guys got to come out with a bigger intensity at home and get this game to take a 3-2 lead. And that's exactly what the Bucks did. So good on them. Other than that, it was a relatively good game for the Bucks. Again, they had to lead pretty much the entire game. And they just took this advantage and they just never looked back. The Hawks, again, one thing you got to love about the Hawks is they're never going to stop fighting. They had plenty of moments to try and close the gap. But again, whenever they could, you would just look at Brook Lopez and he would continue to score. Portis would continue to give you something. Drew Holiday would definitely get involved. Drew Holiday was just brilliant tonight. I love the way he played the game tonight. Other than him taking those threes, the way he played tonight was solid. He was just setting up guys, setting up lobs for Brook Lopez. He was doing his thing. So yeah, these guys need to come out. They need to engage. They need to be in focus. And they just need to play like this. What is so hard for them to play like this? Why don't they understand that they just have this huge size advantage? And if they play to that, they should be able to win and no problem. They should have never been in a situation where the series is tied. Had they played like this, they'd have won the series at this point. They would have won this in 5. They have a size advantage, but they don't want to play to it. And it's so frustrating watching the Bucks when you know that they could just take advantage of this. But hey, be happy that they did tonight. Now again, I don't know if they're going to play like this in game 6. Again, I keep saying again, but we know that the Hawks are going to make some sort of adjustments defensively, but how do you stop them? They have such a huge size advantage. Unless you're trying to foul them and put them to the free throw line, but again, I don't know if that's going to work out like that. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for the Hawks. It's going to be tough. Defensively, to try and slow these guys down, if they just put their head down and drive to the basket, the Hawks cannot stop these dudes. Simple as that. They cannot stop these guys. So I think the only way you can look at the Hawks trying to win this, especially if Trae Young doesn't come back and play for game 6, the best thing you could do is you're probably going to have to hit your threes. It's going to be a situation where you guys have to hit your threes. You have to come out there with an even higher intensity and focus than the Bucks, and you got to hit your shots. You got to hit those open threes because there were a lot of shots that they had and a lot of open threes that they had that they just didn't hit tonight. You got to hit those for game 6. This definitely will change if Trae Young gets back, because just having him on the court, knowing his ability to shoot the 3 as well as to be able to drive and penetrate and put up that floater, which has terrified defenses throughout this postseason. Knowing his ability, if he comes back, they'll have a great chance because he'll be able to set up these guys for open looks, and he'll also be able to find his flow because he can drive and hit with that floater or get to the basket and layup, or he can hit that 3 because he's not as great or as consistent as that. He's not as consistent shooting the 3 as he is with his floater, but he can still hit the 3. We know he can hit deep threes. So if Trae Young comes back and there's no Giannis for Game 6, I think the Hawks have a great chance to tie this series and force a Game 7. But if they're going to have to go without Trae Young, they're going to have to hit their shots. They're going to have to hit their threes. They're going to have to get hot from there. But other than that, we'll just see what happens in Game 6. We'll see. Can the Bucks close the deal and enter the NBA Finals, or are we going to Game 7? Either way, the Suns will be waiting for one of these two teams. We'll see what happens there. But with that being said, that is all I got. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.